This video is brought to you by Robinhood, the investment brokers that let you buy stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies all commission free. There's still time to take advantage of this historic 2020 stock market crash, and if you sign up using the link in the description below, you'll instantly receive one free stock without even depositing a single penny. No, this still isn't my real portfolio, but I have added to it a bit, like the stock on your screen. That's Cody. They make like makeup, Revlon, stuff like that. What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Checking out the retrains of the old school DM monsters that have finally been revealed. If you guys remember, about 2-3 weeks ago on this channel, I talked about these cards because they were teased in the V-Jump as normal, and it looks like they're going to be released in something called the Prismatic Special Pack in the OCG. Obviously, I have no idea when these are going to come to the TCG, so don't even bother asking me, but we can go ahead and check the cards out, and I'm going to break this down into two shorter videos, so you guys can just kind of get to the card that you want. You don't got to watch a super long drawn out video or anything like that. Anyways, let's start off by talking about 100 Dragons. So this is a level 4 Wind Dragon monster, 1800 attack, 1000 defense. We knew what its attribute and typing was, but we didn't know what its stat line was going to be, or obviously its monster effect. It says that its second effect is a hard once per turn, and the first effect says once per turn you can have this card gain levels equal to the number of cards you control, and if it does, it gains 100 attack for each level gained. These changes last until the end of this turn. Second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one monster on the field that was special summoned from the extra deck. The next time that face-up monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. Okay, so 100 Dragon, it's like a decent card. I don't think it's gonna knock anybody's socks off. The first effect, at first glance, it does kind of seem like a throwaway effect because honestly, I don't really think the attack value is going to be that big of a deal. Maybe at best you have like 4 cards on the field, this card and like 3 others, and you're getting like 400 extra attack. You might be able to beat over something that you wouldn't normally be able to beat over. However, I do think potentially becoming a level 6 monster, that could be kind of useful, because if you got this and something else on the field, it becomes a level 6, that might open up some exceed plays. I think the second effect is probably going to be a little more useful, and you're thinking maybe you can use this as link material, synchro, fusion material, something like that, and then your monster is actually going to get some protection. I'm kind of like thinking of something like IP Mask Arena. You know how when you go for a link summon using IP Mask Arena, the next monster can't be destroyed by card effects. The second effect is like a baby version of IP Mask Arena. I know it's kind of ironic referring to this card as a baby when it used to be Baby Dragon, but even though it only works one time, the fact that you do get that battle protection, that's something that you don't get from IP Mask Arena. And generally speaking, cards that give you those protections are going to be fairly useful. It is unfortunate that it doesn't work on like Exceed monsters, because this card doesn't go to the graveyard if you use it for Exceed summoning, but it does work if you're going to go for a fusion, a link monster, or if you are going to be using it for a synchro summon. So overall, maybe it'll be like a niche deck. Maybe you'll be able to fit it into some rank 6 decks, or some decks that play higher level monsters, but overall it's like a decent card at best. Next up is Time Magician. This of course being the Time Wizard fusion monster. It's a level 5 light attribute spellcaster monster, 2000 attack, 1900 defense. Your materials are Time Wizard plus 1 effect monster, so not particularly difficult to summon, especially considering this is technically an instant fusion target, which makes it very spicy in my opinion. Your only effect says once per turn, if this card was fusion summoned, you can toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, destroy as many monsters on the field as possible, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the total original attack of destroyed face-up monsters. If you call it wrong, destroy as many monsters on the field as possible, and if you do, you take damage equal to half the total attack of the destroyed face-up monsters. Okay, so Time Magician definitely feels like it's respecting and paying tribute to the spirit of the original Time Wizard, which off the top of my head, I believe Time Wizard was a 50% chance of a Regeki. If you got it right, you would nuke your opponent's monsters, and if you got it wrong, you'd nuke all your monsters and you would take damage equivalent to their attack. This card just basically says, I don't care if you get it right or wrong, I'm gonna blow up all the monsters on the field regardless. And I'm not gonna lie, having a dark hole built into an instant fusion target definitely feels pretty useful. I mean, a lot of times it's still a very respectable play to activate instant fusion and get Thousand Eyes Restrict just to suck up one of your opponent's monsters. Now you could potentially, not just have the burn damage, which technically can end the game, but you could just instant fusion into a board wipe, which just seems kind of insane to me. Now, honestly, without some other support, I don't know if anybody will ever summon this card not using instant fusion. I don't know how practical it is to still run Time Wizard in the year 2020, but this card as an instant fusion target, to me, automatically makes it viable. It has a very strong effect. Again, even if you do get it wrong, I'm perfectly fine taking some burn damage if I know that I get to break your void, if I get all your monsters off the field. This is a card to me that has very little downside. I mean, the burn damage that I'm going to take is almost always going to be worth the destruction that I cause on field. Anyways, whatever you guys think of these two cards, you leave that in the comment section below. If you guys want to know about the Harpy Synchro and the Jinzo XC, I'm probably going to post that video. Well, I'm shooting the video now, but the video will almost certainly be out within an hour of you guys watching this video, so just come back and check those out. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.